All right, so I've yet to get my first ever payout when it comes to just trading in general and let alone trading futures. But instead of like aiming for just the goal of getting my first payout this year, I'm instead aiming for a much bigger goal, which is aiming for $73,000 in payout. This is my first quarter, essentially my first quarter. I kind of declared the goal in the middle of this quarter. However, we're gonna go over how this quarter went. First, we'll start by like kind of breaking down how we'll achieve this $73,000 in payouts. Second, we'll look at the quarterly expenses. Third, we'll look at the prop firm stats, kind of like how I've been trading prop firms, my stats as far as pass rates and stuff like that. And then fourth, we'll look at the goal for next quarter and how we look to develop on the lessons that we've learned this quarter. First thing I think we need to do um, to get started is we need to understand the why. So the why. $73,000. Why 73,000? Well, I'm very glad you asked. 73,000 is 24% of what I made last year at my job, my annual job. And last year, I made about $59,000 annually. I think it was before tax or after tax. Nope, no. Actually, it was before. So 59,000 before tax. Now, given the fact that I've been trading for 4 years and I've yet to kind of make some money from this, I'm kind of on that tipping point where like this year I'm trying to like give it everything I got to make sure that if I decide to walk away after this year, I can say like, okay, cool, I really gave it everything I had. So that's why I chose 73,000 because it's 24% of what I made last year at my job. And also, there's a big bad villain that I did not discuss. I cannot go over $10,000 in prop firm expenses. Wow, I don't, first of all, I don't even know if I spelt that right. We'll just put EXP. So now, I kind of want to look at like how I'm going to break down this 73,000. So there's about 3/4 left. So let's just say 73 divided by 3 gives us, let's just say 24, okay? 24, 3. Now there's about 3 months in each quarter, which means that every month I need to make about $8,000 in prop firm payouts. So $8,000 in prop firm payouts means that every week I should probably be shooting for about $2,000 per week. If I have one account, if I have two accounts, then it's cut down in half to $1,000. If I have three accounts, then it's cut down even more to about like $750. This is the math behind my madness. My goal is to get $73,000 in payouts. I have 3/4 left. My goal is to average about $24,000 in payout per quarter, which means $8,000 per month. And that could just kind of be boiled down to if I have three funded accounts, $750 I need to make in profits per week, of course. So now we went over the goal. We understand why 73,000. Let's go ahead and look into the quarterly expenses. So I use Agent Prop. It's a tool that I built myself to just kind of track my profit from expenses as I go along this journey. So far for the quarter, we have kind of totaled about a net profit of $445 in the negative, which is pretty good. Given the fact that I kind of started in the middle of this quarter. Of course, I could be in the green, but I'm not too focused on that right now. I'm just trying to make sure that my burn rate doesn't go over $500 per month because I don't want to be anywhere near the $10,000 in expenses from just prop firms alone. As far as how much my monthly expenses has been, January I spent about $123 on prop firm expenses total. One of these accounts I believe were funded. That's why it was like an activation fee. February, I spent about $197 in prop firm accounts. I think I had bought the most prop firm accounts. How many accounts did I buy? Yes, I had bought 10 evals in February. Kind of crazy. And then March, I had $125 in expenses when it came to activation fee for one of the accounts that I had passed. So this is kind of the layout as far as the net income. Of course, we haven't got any payouts yet, so there's no green to kind of offset it. But looking at it like this, I'm probably going to purchase another 5 evals. So let's say we're going to be at 545 going into this month. One payout puts us right at break even for the year, which is pretty decent. Now we're gonna go over the stats a little bit. So overall, the stats, I think out of how many was we? Okay, yeah, we had 13 evals. So we had purchased total 13 evals. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's pretty good. So about an eval every single week. We had purchased 13 evals and we've got 2 funded accounts out of 13 evals. So right now we have a pass rate of about 15%. Okay, got work to do, but not bad. Total in evals, we spent $255. Total in activation fees, we spent $190. So that's good. I want the activation fees to be the bulk of our fees, not eval. So that's actually pretty good. I'm okay with that. I went on a failing streak. And I think these, I'm not gonna lie, I just loaded up 5 on a copy trader. It was like one day till my rebuild cycle. I was like, boop, let's go full port. So as expected. But the ones that I actually took my time with, I actually passed. So not bad. So let's look at where we're at currently with the 2 funded accounts that we have. We are nearing pretty close, not pretty close. We're not close at all, actually. On the first funded account that we have, we are about $600 in profit. And on the second funded account that we have, we are about $400 in profit. So overall, we need to be we need to be $7,200 in profit, and we are at profit 1,000. So I don't know what's the math on that, but we're close-ish. So let's go over the goals for next quarter. All right, so the goals for next quarter. I think it's kind of obvious. If I want to be on track for my $73,000 in payouts, I have to make $24,000 in payouts for this quarter. So if I have to make $24,000 in payouts for this quarter, what can I do differently in order to achieve that? I would say I would definitely have to load up a lot more accounts. Right now my average prop firm expense per month is maybe around like $100 to $200. I'm gonna need to bump that up. Those are rookie numbers. I'm gonna have to bump it up maybe to 300 to 500. So this may look like increasing. Instead of taking 1 eval per week, we take 2 evals per week. And instead of 2 evals per week, we take 2 evals per week. We can either copy trade, but I'm highly against copy trading because that doesn't give me the advantage of numbers. And the advantage of numbers is let's say you get 10 attempts, right? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say you get 10 attempts, and out of the 10 attempts, you pass, let's say 3 of them. So these 3, you pass, all the others you fail, right? If I'm having 2 accounts, right, and I'm copy trading them, I don't get to take advantage of this, right? So 2 accounts come as 1 opportunity, right? And if you kind of look at it, this increases your burn rate a lot more, because if you're spending $40 per opportunity instead of 20, I think you could do the math on how much you end up spending at the end. So my goal is just to take advantage of the numbers game and to just try and not copy trade any account, so each account has their own life, essentially. Really weird wording here, but I hope you're tracking. Every account has their own journey, essentially, right? None of them are copy trading, so none of them have the same story. I don't get focused on this group of copy traded accounts versus these. I kind of let life be, or let trading happen, and that's kind of what you want, right? You kind of just want to come to the market, look for your setups, trade your setups, and then just move on to the next day. You don't want to get caught up in where this account's at, where this account's at, where this account's at. You just want to be focused on the process. So I want to use numbers and being focused on the process to aid in my advantage. Probably bumping up my spin rate. I need to get a lot more aggressive on funded accounts, but right now the most aggressive I can be is 2 minis right now on funded accounts. So I'm gonna have to stick with that. I just need to get a lot more attempts at base, which means I just need to get a lot more funded accounts in my hand, which means I need to trade evals a lot more. So that's what we're gonna do. I think taking advantage of these 90% promotions is really good as well too, because they give you access to the ability to buy 10 of them for $200 or 5 of them for $100, and just kind of trade them. If you fail them, all you lost was $20. It's almost no downside. That's lunch for me right now in this economy. That's lunch, but it's no downside to losing an eval account. Now funded account might be different. It might be $100 that you lost, but still it's $100. You can make that back next month, maybe even next week, next day, depending on what job you have. So what's next? If we bump up the eval rate, we could bump up more chances. We just need to put more opportunities in our hands. So 2 evals a week gives us like more ops. So 2 evals equals more ops. So with more ops, we'll have more opportunities to make money as well too. I need to make sure that now my risk, minimum risk, stays at minimum risk should stay at about 2 mini contracts. 2 mini contracts, which means like per trade, I should be either like making $600 or losing $700 to $800. This is enough risk to make sure that the eval accounts or funded accounts last at maximum maybe 1 to 2 weeks. No, sorry, 1 to 3 actually, because it's very common for me to take a account almost into 3 weeks before even getting to a phase of passing or failing. I find that good. So we know what we need to do. We just got to do it, get more opportunities, get more hits at base. As far as like trading, I don't think there's no strategy adjustment that I need to make. I'm confident in my strategy. I'm comfortable with it. It's almost part of me now. I just need to make sure that like I'm patient and I'm looking for the right opportunity. Yeah. So that's our quarterly review. Do a quarterly review of your own. Use Try Agent Prop. You know, you can look at all of your expenses. You can use Refinement. Both of those platforms are free of use. I'm not planning on charging for that. The only thing that's paid on those platforms is the AI feature on Refinement. But if you're not planning to use AI, then just don't buy it. You free of use, whatever. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I want to kind of end the video there. You know my motto, be a problem solver, and I will see you guys next time until the last time.